Listen here, group. Today we're going to talk about whether Top Gun is a perfect movie or not. Welcome to Erratic Sleep Patterns, guys. Before we get into this, I feel like no one's going to be happy with this video. Either the Top Gun nerds are going to be upset at the idea of even picking apart Top Gun. And I feel like movie snobs are going to be mad at the idea of even considering it perfect.
I always felt that the critics were really harsh on this movie. It got ripped in lots of ways.
This is not for anybody else. I think this is mostly just for me, which is fine because I'm the only one who will watch it. There is no other movie that I've seen more than Top Gun.
I've only seen this movie 1,700 times.
That includes The Crow, Highlander, My Girl. I've seen Top Gun more than all of those. Top Gun came out in 1986. I saw it when I was very young. And because of that, for a long time, I mixed up Top Gun, Cocktail, and Born on the 4th of July, which is why, as an inside joke, every 4th of July, I watched Top Gun. I was also a huge plane nerd. I grew up on an Air Force base. I've been to a ton of air shows. The F-14 was my favorite plane, potentially because of this movie, but the B-52 bomber was my second favorite plane. I also know a bunch of dumbasses from the Navy, and I've seen more than 10 movies in my life, which means I'm an expert who is qualified to discuss the movie Top Gun. The movie Top Gun is 149 minutes, but it moves fast and you don't feel it. And because it moves fast, I'm going to try to move fast through this discussion. This is not my strong suit. What I like to do is dive deep and break things down. I will break some things down, but again, we're Top Gunning this. So let's go. If you haven't seen Top Gun, you're either my ex-husband or too young to be watching my channel. But if you haven't seen it, it's about a pilot named Maverick. He was second in his squadron, but due to another pilot having a scare, he becomes the first and gets sent to Top Gun. Top Gun is a real school. This movie was actually based on a 1983 article written by Ehud Yoni. I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think I'm close. If you read the article, you will see from the article there are scenes that are in the movie from the article.
Watch the birdie!
And this movie also had Pete Viper Pettigrew.
We named Viper as an homage to Pete Pettigrew, who was our technical advisor.
I think you can blame him or praise him for the authenticity of Top Gun. Got what he needed, but also got stuff that was as accurate as you can do in a Hollywood movie.
I might insert here, as a technical advisor, I might be beating up on the movie a little bit because I know what was supposed to be reality and what was Hollywood, and I tend to be defensive about the whole thing because nobody ever listened to me.
As a consultant, and he's actually in the movie.
Oops,
There's
there's the guy in the yellow shirt.
Anyway, Top Gun School. Only the elite pilots go to this. And this is based on reality. The idea is that the best pilots from the squadron go and they learn, and then they go back out to their squadrons and teach everybody.
There really is no Top Gun trophy, and I hope I'm not sort of hurting anybody's feelings.
Anyway, goes to school, meets a hot lady. Oh my gosh, she's the teacher. There's conflict there.
I don't date students.
What are you going to do? And then, of course, unfortunately, his co-pilot, best friend, and the best character in the movie, Goose, dies in a horrible accident. This causes turmoil. Is this Maverick's fault? Should he continue to fly? Eventually, he graduates Top Gun school, not first of his class, still second, and then immediately gets deployed with everybody else to a real fight on a rescue mission. From there, he redeems himself, and he can pick any assignment he wants, and he decides he wants to be an instructor at Top Gun. Then he gets the girl. Great movie. Super fun. Like I said, it runs fast. What are the good things in this movie? Easily the cast. You've got Tom Cruise, Anthony Edwards, Kelly McGillis, Meg Ryan, Tom Skerritt, Michael Ironsides, Val Kilmer, Tim Robbins, the guy from The Prophet.
Now, for the first time ever on DVD, experience every startling moment from the daring TV show critics declared lean,
I don't suppose you have any idea who leaked the documents?
No.
mean, and terrifically addictive.
Well, there. I hope I'll have some good news soon. Thanks, Leo.
Daring,
Peter Petrelli's brother. Everyone does an excellent job. The characters are also fantastic. Tom Cruise as Maverick He's very charming. He's like that, troubled bad boy.
You have to live with that reputation. It's like every time we go up there, it's like you're flying against a ghost.
And he is a dangerous pilot, but you still root for him because he's very charming. I don't really have crushes on celebrities per se. I don't really, watch things for the hubba-hubbiness of it, I guess, which there are some scenes in here intentionally for that. It's not my thing. But watching it for the first time critically and watching the way Tom Cruise acts, I get it. He's very charming.
Enjoy being here.
And so you want him to do well. Anthony Edwards. I think everybody loves Anthony Edwards. He's a great actor. Does great characters.
And Anthony Edwards, Anthony, he's got such a great quality to him.
Anthony Edwards is just such a memorable Goose. I mean, you've just got to love him.
He's got such a brilliant, odd sense of humor, and there's a lot of lines, a lot of situations that Anthony improvised, and we capitalized, and I used in the movie directly, or we built sequences off.
Mav, you have the number of that truck driving school we saw on TV, Truckmaster, I think it is?
And he's the heart of this movie. He's also, I think, the surrogate for the audience. You love Maverick, even though he's doing dangerous things and is not like doing everything by the book. But you want him to do well. You want him to kind of straighten up so he can succeed. And Anthony Edwards gets that across to him, works with him to try to get him to, better himself the way the audience probably wants to.
I got a family to think about. I can't afford to blow this.
This movie runs so fast that if Anthony Edwards wasn't killing it at that character, his death would not be as impactful. I mean, that solely rests on how well he plays the character Goose.
You break my will? Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Kelly McGillis does a great job as a smart lady.
If I reversed on a hard cross, I could immediately go to guns on him.
Yeah, but at its speed, it's too fast.
A sexy lady who knows a lot about planes, more than you might expect looking at a lady.
That's the last thing you should do. The MiG's right on your tail. Freeze there, please.
She does a great job. She's confident. You can tell that she's been around these Navy guys before. So a lot of this bullshit stuff doesn't really faze her. For example, that scene in the bar.
Miss. Hey. Don't worry, I'll take care of this.
You never close. You're trying hard not to show it. I know it.
Not only is that horribly embarrassing and weird in most normal circumstances if you're not used to how dumb people can be. On top of that, he follows her into the bathroom. Jesus Christ. First of all, don't ever follow somebody into the bathroom like that. That's fucking stupid. It's dangerous. And she had every right to punch him. She doesn't, which shows how confident she is. Seriously, dudes, do not follow a lady into the bathroom. I guess if you're invited, that's okay. But unless you have a very clear express invitation, definitely don't. And mostly I would recommend not because you don't know who else is in the bathroom. They may not want you in there. Meg Ryan, this is her first movie, I think. Does an excellent job playing Goose's wife. You feel the love there.
Hey, Goose, you big stud!
That's me, honey.
You feel the sadness. And she's in so few scenes, but, she really carries that feeling. You understand. Tom Skerritt does great as a surrogate father.
I like that in the pilot. Just remember, when it's over out there, we're all on the same team.
Val Kilmer does great as the opposition pilot, right? The one he's competing against.
The plaque for the alternates is down in the ladies' room.
They keep a good relationship there to make it believable.
I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right.
Nice. Man, I am dangerous.
And Michael Ironsides is in this.
His fitness report says it all. Flies by the seat of his pants. Completely unpredictable.
And everybody, I think, loves Michael Ironsides.
Hi, Mark Green.
Yeah, I've heard. William Swift, your new chief.
Even though he was in Highlander 2, and it's really hard to forgive anyone for Highlander 2. Yes! This movie has great quotes.
Negative, Ghost Rider?
I feel the need for speed.
Take me to bed or lose me forever.
Show me the way home, honey.
Talk to me, Goose.
The one that I say the most.
I want some butts! Oh, covered with coffee. I want some bunch.
The directing and the editing in this movie is so good. You really feel like you're in the sky with them.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, goddammit. I'm moving in. I've got the shot. Come on, man. Let's get in there. Come on, man.
This is the first movie to really do anything like this. Tony Scott did a fantastic job setting it all up, working on it. He got fired 3 times trying to get his vision across. And it's all put together so well. The inside, outside, the shots, everything feels like you're right there with them, that you're in the sky with them, and you can really appreciate the maneuvers that they do in that sort of thing. And I'm only going to include this as a pro because I know it was intentional. But I guess all the dudes with their shirts off.
I didn't really have a vision about what to do. I remember this is the scene I struggled with the most, yeah. But in the end, it just became hunky bodies and California sun, but it became a favorite with the women as well as the guys.
Tony felt that he should give something for the girls too, and he had all these good-looking guys. They had great bodies, and he said, "Let's give the girls something to really look at." And I think that was something he created to show the competition among the guys, and also to give the girls something to take home with them and think about.
This is the boys in the locker room, yeah. So this was another beefcake sequence which went down.
That was intentional. And if that's something that you're into, and gender non-specific on that, there you go. It's in there. There's some guys with their shirts off. For some reason, Anthony Edwards is wearing a shirt in the volleyball scene. I don't know why. He's shirtless in a locker room scene, so it's not like he didn't want to show off his chest ever. I'm not really sure what happened there, but lots of guys being shirtless. Okay, so if you don't want to hear me talk about the issues that I have with Top Gun, then skip to this point in the video. But for those of you who do, it's not a lot, but I'm going to break it down. So first we have technical errors, and I think that this probably only really bothers plane nerds and pilots. Plane nerds and pilots. So most of this probably doesn't matter.
As I said, the normal gunshot would be about 1,200 feet, and right now they're probably about 200 feet. If you were to shoot the A4 right now, the A4 would explode in front of him and then fire all of the motors on all the Tomcats, and the whole 3 ship would then crash.
I'm going to include a couple of things from the commentary, just because I feel like if I say it, it's going to be like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, you know what the fuck you're talking about.
So I'll let actual pilots talk about it. I actually like the commentary on the DVD released in 2006, I think it is. The commentary is not my favorite. It's broken up where they have parts with Tony Scott, parts with Jerry Bruckheimer, parts with the pilots, parts with one of the screenwriters. I would like an entire commentary of just plain dudes talking plain stuff. But that's because I'm a weirdo.
Obviously, the guys doing the talking and the coaching right now would be the landing signals officer from the ship. Maverick would not be doing the coaching.
A little bit excessive rocking in here. They would have
I think they'd have probably pickled him and said, come bring it. Let's try it again.
Yeah, he never would have gotten aboard. By the way, you wouldn't have your mask off. The mask would have been on for a long time.
I was just thinking the same thing.
You can't take time out to put your mask on after you get a visual.
As we mentioned before, here the framing and the need for Hollywood to have all these aircraft in one frame. Pretty hokey here, obviously, of gun parameters, from 1,200 feet on in. Should have taken the shot a long time ago.
By the way, he's landing that.
I was just thinking the same
Guy's
thing.
got his hook down. He's landing on the field, which we don't do. And landing on the field, we don't do field arrestments very often.
We very proudly graduate in our flight suits. So this is very, very, very Hollywooded.
This would never happen this way. You wouldn't get the orders that way. If they're a Top Gun, they'd
go back to their parent squadron.
They go back to their parent squadron, which would be at Miramar. They wouldn't be deployed.
And exactly, probably normally in one of the early part of the workup. So you're right. These orders would go to the guys that are probably already out there. And I never understood why they use 24 hours later, because that's magic.
Yeah.
I don't think you could physically get there in 24 hours if you took the Concorde over there.
No.
And I would like less Tony Scott in the commentary, honestly.
Kelly had just seen in Witness and seen her take her top off in Witness. That's the real reason she got the part. So we'd sit on top of this mountain with our binoculars and see these guys buzz these whorehouses at 5 a.m. and see all these guys and these pimps coming out at 5 a.m. screaming and yelling.
Love Tony Scott, respect Tony Scott, and his death is definitely unfortunate. The part that I feel confident that I can discuss, we're going to go with the storyline. So overall, the storyline's good, right? Competition, love, death, redemption, right? On paper, that's exactly the kind of arc you want to see in a movie. Lots of drama, lots of fun, that sort of stuff. I feel that while she wants to understand about the MiG, and I get that her writing down the confidential meeting on a braggy pilot's piece of paper is too big of a risk. And if you've got that kind of clearance, you probably know already that's not good. You should probably do some sort of verbal note, right? Say it quietly, privately. Otherwise, you know how information spreads. The elevator scene was added after the movie had shot.
This scene was actually done about 6 months after we finished filming, which we finished in August, the regular filming and production. And you know, she's wearing a hat. And the reason that Kelly McGillis is wearing a hat right there is because her hair is a different color. She's doing a different movie, and they brought her back to do that. You know, so Tom Cruise has quite longer hair because he was doing another movie at the time. The reason they did this is they thought that the relationship between Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis was going too quickly, and they wanted to insert something which sort of softened their relationship and made their relationship look like it was a little more long-lasting. So they added this about 5 months later.
And the idea was that it was like that the relationship was going too far. I think this scene doesn't make any sense. I think it puts hard breaks in a part that didn't need hard breaks.
Your MiG sighting is really important to my work, but I don't normally invite students to my house. But please understand, I still have a job to do.
If you go to the next scene afterward when they're in class.
The MiG has you in his gun sight. What were you thinking at this point? The encounter was a victory, but I think that we've shown it as an example of what not to do.
I could see that causing the conflict, right? She doesn't need her students, and he doesn't like to be told that he's wrong, right? And then I feel like that makes a good conflict point. Plus, the scene after where she's following him makes more sense without the elevator scene. If she's like, no, you know what, screw you, buddy, and then he gets upset and drives off, why is she literally risking her life and other people to chase him down? Doesn't make any sense. That part shouldn't have been added to it. My understanding also, and I don't have full confirmation of this, but that the love scene was added after the end of the movie too. The other problem I have is with Goose's death. So what happens is Val Kilmer's character won't shoot, and Maverick's like, get out of the way, I got the shot, get out of the way, I got the shot.
Jesus Christ, I can take a shot right here.
I need another 20 seconds, then I've got him.
Come on, Ice, get the hell out of there. Let's do it, Mav. Ice, come on, high right, I'm in.
5 more seconds.
And he's like, give me 20 seconds, give me 10 seconds, give me 5 seconds, doesn't do the shot, and then drives off. And it's in his jet wash that causes Maverick's plane to fly out of control.
We're in his jet wash. Oh, engine 1 is out. Engine 2 is out.
Mayday, mayday. Mav's in trouble. He's in a flat spin. He's heading out to sea.
Now, here's the thing. You can say Maverick was flying too close. That's fair. But if you're Maverick and the character that Maverick is, the way you would see it is that was Val Kilmer's fault, right? That if he had moved earlier, if he had let Maverick take the shot, etc., none of that would have happened. Even as a momentary part of blame, of like, this is because of you, and then Val Kilmer could say, no, if you weren't so reckless, if you hadn't been in my wake, that never would have happened. And then Tom Cruise takes it internally. I think that builds a better story, and it's more realistic. The idea that at no point does he blame Val Kilmer's character in that situation is unbelievable for who the character is, his pride and everything like that. And also understanding how grief works. Now, I'm not going to pick apart how they represent grief in this movie because, again, it moves very fast. And so it's difficult to depict that. They do a good scene with Tom Cruise up against the door. Overall, when you're in those situations, you do clamp down and just keep moving forward. I will say, for him to be so broken up that he quits, it would have been nice to see something more, like him not wanting to get out of bed or something like that. They don't do that. But again, movie moves fast. They don't have time for that. I'm a little in the middle there. Also, the fact that he quit, the only way we know is because that guy called who? I don't know.
Hi, it's Wolfman. Yeah, Maverick just quit.
You didn't see Maverick say that he quit. You just saw Val Kilmer trying to express that he felt bad for what happened, which I think was done fine. And then this guy calls and he's like, yeah, Maverick quit. First of all, who are you calling? Second of all, why couldn't we have a scene of Maverick quitting? The scene where Tom Skerritt tells Tom Cruise that Goose is dead is stupid.
How you doing? I'm alright. Goose is dead.
But obviously he knows Goose is dead. He was literally there with his body in the water.
I know.
The scene where Kelly McGillis says that he knows the quit maneuver well.
You didn't learn a damn thing, did you? Except to quit. You've got that maneuver down real well.
What is that in reference to? As far as we as an audience know, this is the only time he's ever quit, right? And we've known him technically longer than Kelly McGillis' character. I feel, and obviously I don't know, there was a scene where he broke up with her, maybe? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. The quit maneuver, you learn that. Doesn't make any sense. It would make sense with something in context. If you'd done anything else, what else did he quit? I can't genuinely think of anything else except when his friend died. And if that's the case, that's kind of a bitchy thing to say. And I get like maybe the tough love to try to push him back, but I'm just saying, like, what the fuck are you talking about? If my friend died and I quit a job that I had with that friend because I was like, I don't think I can do this, I feel responsible for their death, having never quit anything else, and a person that I'm kind of starting to see maybe had sex with one time is like, yeah, you're really good at quitting, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? I would never talk to that person again. I would prove them right. You're right. I'm good at quitting. Go fuck yourself. But outside of that, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why is the only black guy in the movie named Sundown?
The thing about call signs, you cannot give yourself a call sign.
Hey, so I'm editing, and I think I solved a mystery that has been driving me nuts. This regards the final scene in the movie. So, assume you've seen it. We're still going to break it down. So, let's see here. You got Maverick here drinking at the bar, right? He was drinking. And then somebody, we don't know who yet, put some music quarters in the machine. We don't see anyone there. But wait a second, hey, it's that Love and Feelin' song, right? And then he slowly walks over and he's like, who could that be? He gets to the jukebox and oh, look behind him. It's the lady, right? So whatever, it's corny, but it is what it is. Here's the thing that has been bothering me. Where the fuck was she hiding, right? Because he came from here. He came from this room. Right? So for her to be on that side of the doorway that he just walked through, right? She would have to be right here. And he doesn't see her? Right? He doesn't see her that whole time? He only sees the jukebox? That doesn't make any sense, right? So you're like, how the fuck did that happen? Oh, hey, I was standing right behind you. Okay, so drove me fucking nuts. Stupid magic trick doesn't make any goddamn sense. But the more I thought about it, here's something that we can see right here. Right here, we can see that there's a door here. See, look at them. Bye, guys. Have a great day. So we can see that there's a door here. So I have made this, right? Bar, Tom Cruise, there's a door here, jukebox is here. I have two scenarios of how this happens. Either this wall doesn't go all the way through and she can come around the wall this way, or what she does, and this is what I like to think, is she does the jukebox thing, goes through this door, because we see the door is left open, right? She goes through this door, she puts the money in the jukebox, and then she's like, ah ha ha ha, I'm playing a fun prank. I don't know which side of the building she goes around with because I have more room. She goes outside, around the building, back through the employee entrance, and then sneaks along the wall, and then shows up here. This is how this makes sense. And it also explains why Tom Cruise is walking so slow, right? It's what, like 10 feet, 20 feet to the jukebox? And he's like walking slow, picks up his coat. It's to give her enough time to run around the building. I assume she's wearing high heels. I could do it, but it's not a fast run necessarily because I assume it's kind of deserty-ish ground around here. I guess it's California, pretty dry. So anyway, that is a scene that used to bother me until I broke it down and came up with this answer myself. In the end, it makes sense. She's just a silly little trickster. I'm going to call that good for bitching for now. If something else hits me, then I'll edit it and pull it back in. But for now, we're good. I'm going to talk about some cool things in this movie that I like specifically. I like when Cougar gets like shaken, and the way that they show that Maverick has heart, where he goes back even though they're low on fuel and like guides them in.
Goose, Cougar's in trouble. Come on, Mav. We're getting low on gas. Let's land this sucker.
Man, if we got a little problem up here, that MiG really screwed him up. I don't think he can make it back.
Easy, Cougar. Just a walk in the park, buddy.
I really think that that's an impactful way to build the character. To show that, like, you know, he's kind of a scoundrel, but he's got a heart, right? And it's tension, high stakes tension, you know?
Come on, buddy, pull up.
Roger, ball. We're too low, Cougar. We're too low, Cougar.
And it gives more leeway for you to forgive the stupid bullshit stuff that he does. So I think that's really great. Also, Tim Robbins is hardly in this movie. When he is in the co-pilot seat after Goose, like, he is going for it. You really hear him. You really feel him trying to get Maverick to, like, get it together and get going.
Get in there, Maverick. You can't leave him. Come on. Maverick, what the hell are you doing? Maverick, you won't last down there alone. Get in the fight, for Christ's sake.
With all of that said, is Top Gun a perfect movie? For this, I'm using the definition that came online. And I promised myself that no matter what the definition that came up online first, I was going to use. And so if it fit or did not fit would be based on the definition. The definition that I have, having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as possible to be. Does Top Gun hit that? I would say yes. So whether you skipped it or not, I have some issues with the plot. But here's the thing about Top Gun, and this is true. Again, I have watched this movie multiple times in a row to make this video. So I can say this completely in all earnestness. This movie runs fast like it should, right? Being a pilot, flying planes, Top Gun school, you got to be fast, right?
I feel the need for speed sort of just captures the essence of this movie.
This movie goes so fast that I don't carry any of the issues that I had with the plot to the end. I wrote notes when I watched the movie, and when I got to the end, I was like, that was fantastic. And then I went back to my notes and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of an issue. Oh yeah, that's kind of an issue. And then I rewatched it. Same thing, right? Even after reviewing my notes, knowing what I'm going in for, watching it again, you just keep going. Get to the end. Fuck yeah, that was a great movie. Top Gun is, in that essence, a perfect movie. It runs so well that I can't really remember any flaws that it had. And for what it is, which is a super cool plane movie.
Now, this is the part I was talking about. And that's, I think, the only time a Rolling Scissors has ever been filmed.
It hits everything, right? They even say that it's not a plot movie, it's a character movie.
It was not a plot movie, and it's really about the moments and who these guys are and what this world is like, rather than, let's go, into some plot movie that A, B, C, and D. It's not a movie about the mission. Here are the pilots and they're going to go save somebody. It's a movie about the guys.
Top Gun isn't about the story, really. There is a story in it, a narrative, honestly, to build the cool plane stuff around, and that makes it awesome. And I didn't get into everything that, again, we're filming this Top Gun style, so I didn't get into every little thing. I chose intentionally not to do a rewrite a movie Top Gun, specifically because you cannot rewrite this.
It's really rewarding to still see that this work just sort of stands up. It just sort of it continues to be a really sort of interesting story with really great characters.
You can maybe make a couple of tweaks. It wouldn't matter either way, right? Once you get to the end, you're at the end. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But if you were to fill out, rewrite things, make it more of a character movie, it's not Top Gun anymore. There are a bunch of war movies. There are a bunch of military movies. You can get more in-depth into the character. You can get more in-depth into how things affect them. You can get more in-depth into relationships in all sorts of movies, and it works, but they're not Top Gun. But Top Gun, for what it's supposed to be, for everything that it is absolutely a perfect movie. If you want to have fun, fly by the seat of your pants, adrenaline, cool shots, fun people, sadness, It has everything. And the only way that it can have everything like that is to do it the way Top Gun did it. So I love it. Top Gun is a perfect movie. And if you disagree, feel free to let me know how. Top Gun 2 is coming out next week. I will watch it. I am not actually excited about it. I saw the trailer and it was a roller coaster of emotions for me. I started out pissed, knowing that I wouldn't like it. And then at the end, I was like, oh no, it's going to make me cry. Which means I'm going to probably be a mess of different emotions after I see it, so you won't want to talk to me for a week afterward. I could be wrong. It might be a fantastic movie, and if that's the case, I will admit it. But for now, I'm suspicious. I'm not excited. I mean, I'm excited, but I'm not excited. It's hard to explain how I feel. I just have issues with sequels that are unnecessary and kind of sully the first movie.
This was a long intro to get to the point of I'm going to yell about Highlander 2. Hey, she shows up. She just met him, as we've already established. Mm-hmm. Right? She's a dick to him. He makes her hide in a dumpster. And granted, nothing's sexier than sitting in a dumpster for
I bet she smelled great.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just watch this guy basically murder two weirdos, right? And granted, they're weirdos, but it's still like...
he's still a murderer.
Yeah. Then he gets shot by, like, a bunch of lightning. A bunch of explosions happen. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm going to have sex with this dude.
But now he's hot, so I mean...
Like, literally, because he was just struck with lightning, Ellie.
I'm not going to talk about everything I hate about this movie, but I have to tell you, it's a lot. I could go scene by scene. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to say. If you haven't seen Top Gun, it's a fun movie, for sure. Like I said, I've seen it more than I've seen any other movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie. So again... for perfection, having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as possible to be. And by that definition, I bet that means that you're perfect too. So I hope you're having a good day. I hope the Top Gun 2 movie is better than I expect. I hope you enjoyed even thinking about Top Gun, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.
Art Scholes was one of the great ones, and Art was shooting some plates for us in his plane. He always flew with his little dog, his little white dog that sat on his lap when he flew. And it was getting really late in the day, and the ground person or his coordinator, because he was out by himself, we just give him a list of shots to do, said, it's late, why don't you come in? He said, nah, I want to do one more run. And that was his last run. It's unfortunate.
Thanks for watching.